Hey guys, Dr. Brown here, and tonight we're looking at the derivative of x squared over e to the x. Now, since you're in Calculus 1, you know there's 8 rules that you really need to master. The constant derivative of a constant rule, derivative of constant multiple, a simplified power rule, sum difference rule, product quotient rule, chain rule, general power rule, and derivatives of trig. If you can master those 8 rules or 8 derivative rules, you will be flying right through Calculus 1. Have similar rules. There's 8 or 9 rules that you need to master for integration. Okay, but for now, you Calculus 1 folks. Let's look at this problem. Now we can solve this by one of two ways. We have this divided by that. So we would think, wow, can we use the quotient rule? Now we can. The quotient rule says if I have two functions, u divided by v, if I'm trying to take the derivative of that, that means that it's the bottom function times the derivative of the top function minus the top function times the derivative of the bottom function divided by the bottom function squared. Now, bottom function, top function, I understand that's numerator derivative or denominator, but whatever it takes for you to remember them. Okay, so let's go through this doing that with the quotient rule. All right, so what would we have? The bottom function, which is e to the x, times the derivative of the top function, which is 2x. So the derivative of x squared, bring the 2 down, times x to the 2 minus 1 gives me 2x to the first power, minus the top function, which is x squared, times the derivative of the bottom. You know the derivative of e to the u is e to the u du. So in this case, we have e to the x dx. E to the x, the derivative of x is 1. Okay? And all of that, this is where I usually forget to put that in there. Okay, it's the bottom function squared. So I'm just going to write it e to the x, e to the x. Okay, now you'll see in a moment why I did that. I'm going to factor e to the x out as e to the x times 2x minus x squared over e to the x, one of those cancels, and I'm left with 2x minus x squared over e to the x, which is what I have here. That's what I'm going to integrate in the next video to see if I get back to where I started. So that was the quotient rule. Okay, so take a snapshot of that. 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm going to erase that. Now let's use the product rule this time. How do I use the product rule? Well, since I have this in the denominator, if I bring it to the numerator, I put negative sign. So I have x squared e to the minus x. So I'm trying to take the derivative of that with respect to x. So the product rule says if I have two functions, u and v, and I'm taking the derivative of that, that equals the first one times the derivative of the second one plus the second one times the derivative of the first one. You can see I don't have something in the denominator, and to me, that, at least for me, that helps simplify it a little bit. So let's see what we have here. All right, we have the first one, which is x squared, times the derivative of the second one. E to the minus x times the derivative of negative x is negative 1. Plus the second one, e to the minus x times the derivative of the first one, which is 2x. All right, so what do we have here? We've got minus x squared e to the minus x plus e to the minus x, I should say plus 2x e to the minus x. Okay, let me factor e to the minus x out. Now it gives me minus x squared plus 2x. I'm going to rearrange that, just say that's 2x minus x squared, e to the minus x. Well, if I pull that back to the denominator, I have 2x minus x squared over e to the x. And that's what I should have gotten. So I could use the product rule or the quotient rule to solve that. Okay, so as I mentioned, these 8 rules: constant rule, constant multiple, simplified power rule, sum difference rule, product quotient rule, chain rule, general power rule, and trig derivatives. Master those one by one. So what did we just look at? We did the product quotient rule. So I'll work through different videos and we'll go through each one of them. Okay, that's all for now. Keep studying. Why are we doing this? Together we're trying to build a better tomorrow, and do that how? Do that through math. Okay, that's all for now. Talk to you next time. Thanks.